fellow banjo enthusiast. I wanted to do another video for you. It's been a while since I've done one. This summer I have been studying my two favorite banjo players, and that is J.D. Crowe and Ron Stewart. So I've purchased some tab, watched a lot of videos, listened to lots of recordings, slowed things down, and tried to figure out kind of not the secret to their style, but what are some things that they do that they kind of get their sound. So I wanted to talk about 4 or 5 things that I've noticed about some of Ron Stewart's playing and show you a couple licks, and then more importantly maybe the dynamics that he uses in a band situation, which is great. So the things I'm going to show you, the particular licks, are not things I found in tab. It's things that I've heard them do on stage on some of the live settings that I couldn't find tabbed out anywhere, so I figured out a couple of them and want to share those with you because I think they're really cool. Let me go ahead and do the first one. The first one was that lick I just showed you at the beginning, which is a substitute for a D lick. Now I'm in the key of B because the other examples I'm going to use are from videos where they're playing in the key of B. But this one is a substitute for the regular Scruggs kind of over that period of time, except it sounds a lot more modern. I've heard him play it in the I've Been Waiting song. He didn't do it on the original recording. He did something more like that Scruggs D-lick, but on future shows, as you go through scroll through a couple years worth of videos, now he does that particular lick, which sounds a little more melodic. It works good on a medium tempo song like I've Been Waiting by the Boxcars, and it's got some double stops in it. It's kind of reminiscent, you're playing 2 strings at the time. It's kind of reminiscent of the Rockwood Deer Chase, where it sounds pretty cool, but it's a little bit easier than the way it sounds, and it's in D tuning, so it's going to sound different when I play it, but it's got that idea where you're kind of doing little pinches or double stops with 2 strings at a time, except it's a D lick, and it's kind of going the other direction. It's going up. All right, so let me see if I can do this here. So you start off with the open 4th, but instead of going, you go open 4th, and then you start doing the pinches or the double stops, however you want to call that. And you start on the familiar D split position where your index finger is on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and your ring finger is on the 4th fret of the 4th string. So it's, let me kind of do the whole thing slow, and then I'll explain a little bit more, but it goes. Okay, so you're kind of walking up a step at a time. So open 4th, and then you do the pinch, 2 and 4, and then you do open on the 2nd and 3rd string. Okay, and I'm doing the first 2 pinches. I'm using my thumb and my index finger. And now we're going to the D7 position. So your index finger is on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and your middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So far we got. And now I'm switching to the 1st and 2nd string, so I'm not going to use my thumb. I'm going to use my index and middle finger. And then you're doing like you're in the C position. You're going to do the 2nd fret of the 1st string and the 1st fret of the 2nd string. So far we got. Which is kind of a regular ending to it. So once you hit the C position there, then you do open 1st. You're doing a backwards roll. Open 1st, open 2nd, pull off on the 3rd. 1st string grace note if you want, and then end on the 3rd string open. So. And I've heard him play it on some other things. I listen to a lot of where he's demonstrating the Yates banjos. You can go to Yates Banjo's website, or you can go to Ron Stewart's homepage on the Banjo Hangout if you're a member, and he's got a lot of different banjos that he's demonstrated, and he's playing along, and he's playing a studio track, but there's no vocals in it. So you get to hear every single note, all of the lead and the backup in it, and kind of learn or take note of some of the things he's doing. And on a few of those, I think here recently he's added in that lick. So there's one. And the next thing I wanted to do was to talk about the fact that he studied under J.D. Crowe. He played fiddle for him for a while, and I know that's one of his favorite banjo players. So not to get the cart before the horse. So you need to know some Scruggs, and then J.D. Crowe kind of did some offshoots from Scruggs, added in some honky-tonk elements, some bluesy elements, a lot of syncopation, and then Ron Stewart's taken that and kind of done his own thing on several of the licks, but also he plays just a lot of standard Crowe and Scruggs style licks. So I wanted to show you one little adaptation that's pretty effective, and that I've shown you this D lick or G lick, works either one, but shown you that one on another video. So it's where you're starting on the open fourth and you're doing double thumb. You're going to the second fret, open third, and then pull off 3 to 2, open third, then second, and then open on the fourth, and then open on the third. So take that one, and then what Ron will do is substitute a different lick in, which sounds very similar, but it's got enough differences to it that it's pretty cool. It goes, okay, which is starting the same. So open fourth, second fret, fourth, open third. And now you're doing a hammer on 2 to 3. And then you're going open third, and that's the key to a lot of these licks. I think a lot of these hammer-ons and pull-off licks comes from J.D. Crowe, but you can listen to a song like Honey, You Don't Know My Mind, and it's got all that stuff in it. You really need to get some tab and see how it's really played and study that. But at the end of that, he goes. So you're doing some hammer-ons and pull-offs, but you are also getting the third string open in there. Okay, and that's what he's doing on this new lick. You can get that first string open if you want to in there. All right, let me see if I can put it in context. I know I'm in the wrong key, but I'm going to do We Can't Be Darlings Anymore. And at the end of the 2 phrases, the first time I put in the regular, and then the second time I put in the... All right, so let's see how it sounds. So just a little variation there, but it sounds really cool. The next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the ideas on the backup licks, but more importantly, the dynamics. I think the key to Ron's playing is the dynamics he uses, all right? And that is knowing when to back off or quit playing, and then really when to shine and come in with your filling lick or your solo. And the effectiveness that he has is a lot of times you can attribute it to the people he's playing with. It's more of a band situation. So if the whole band knows when to bring it down and when to pull it back, it's going to make a huge difference than if everybody's playing at the same volume all along and you try to do these really dynamic things. It's not going to be as effective. So that's key. So what I'm going to do is to link 3 different songs. I think 3 different songs. The I've Been Waiting, that's got that first D lick in it. If I can find a good one on YouTube so you can hear it, because it's not in the original version. And then the other 2 songs, it really shows off the dynamics, and that is the Big Spike Hammer and Gotta Travel On. I'm going to put links to that on it so you can hear. What almost happens in the chorus to those songs is he quits playing almost. I mean, you're kind of way backed off, and then when it's time for the fill-in lick, it's, hey, hey, down on me. So the dynamics is really what makes Ron Stewart's playing effective, in my opinion. Plus, he knows how to play all these fancy licks. So sometimes they don't have to be fancy. I want to show you this. It can be something as simple as a vamp. Okay, and on both of those videos I'm going to put, it has an example where the backup lick is nothing but a vamp, except it is very, very powerful. Okay, so it goes something like this. Hey, hey, down with me. So it kind of comes in, punches it, and then pulls it back. So you've got the singers coming in, and then when they drop out, Ron's coming in with a backup lick, and it's the ebb and flow, and it sounds really good. Okay, does the same thing in Gotta Travel On. Laid around and played around this old town too long. Summer's almost gone and winter's coming on. So that one's got a little bit of syncopation in it. So, but something as simple as a vamp can be very effective as a fill-in lick, especially if you're working with a lot of good people and they all know when to back off and come in strong. All right, so there's one idea. Let's see, what else? Well, another trademark of Ron is putting in some of those bluesy, some of those bluesy bends, which I have not perfected. I'm working on it. Somebody posted a question on the Banjo Hangout, and a few people tried to help out, and they put in what they were hearing and as far as tab goes, and that kind of helped me out a little bit. Because I knew you were working with blues notes, which is, all those notes between the 3rd and the 5th fret, the blue notes, if you will. But after we really talked about one of those licks, it really just stays on the 5th string, the 5th fret of the 3rd string. That's where you start the bend. And then it goes to the 1st string. Everything else is like 1st string or 3rd string pretty much. Okay, let me see if I can play a quick example and then try to slow it down and teach it to you the best I can. Once again, I haven't found these things in tab that I purchased, so I want to try to kind of give you the idea or the roadmap behind what's going on. So let's try Big Spike Hammer. Hey, hey, down me. Why do you treat me this way? So it's the bend on the 3rd string at the 5th fret. You can use the 2 fingers there to help you out if you need to. And then you go to the 3rd string on, the 3rd fret on the 1st string. Then 5th fret. And then you play it again and walk back down. And that's where you get the 2nd string in. Then open first is what I do. And you're bending up again. And then you're hitting the 3rd fret at the 1st string. Kind of hard to explain. Let me see if I can play it a couple of times. Plus you're trying to get it in time because it's syncopated, which is really hard. Okay, so I don't know exactly how Ron does it as far as the fingering here. I'm playing everything on the 1st string with my middle finger and everything on the 2nd string, which is just one note I think, with my index finger. Everything on the 3rd string with my thumb. So it's a little bit easier for me to get that in. Plus you're keeping all the notes separate there on the 1st string by using the same finger. And the other thing you got to be careful on is the bends, making sure you bend up enough, which it's still a work in progress. So I played it there for Big Spike Hammer. he does an extended one on the Gotta Travel On video that I'm going to show you. So it goes, I played around and played around this old town too long. Summer's almost over and winter's coming on. So it's a little bit longer, so he comes up and gets the next blue note up the scale. So that's going to the 8th fret on the first string. So it goes. Try again. Okay. And before I really started messing with that, I didn't really know what he was doing, so I just kind of bend it on the 3rd string and just kind of walk it down. Use your ears; it's kind of fun. All that kind of bluesy stuff. All right, speaking of bluesy, the last thing I wanted to do was to show you what he's going to do on the ending of the Big Spike Hammer video. So I purchased some tabs with the Big Spike Hammer, and it wasn't this particular version. It was another YouTube video. By the way, Ron has the tablature on his website, so you can buy the first 2 albums, every single note that he plays in the entire album. So backup, you want to learn how he plays backup, you can see every single note, all the leads, all the fill-ins, all that kind of stuff. So I purchased those and I'm working on it, but I think that'll take me a few years. He also has some other stuff. He's done so many different recordings with different bands, has YouTube videos out there where he's playing with different people, and there's tab for that too. There's 2 tab packages. If you want just individual tab, you can go to bluegrassoutlet.com. Russell Sawyer, I'm not so sure if I'm saying that correctly. He's the one that does the tab, and you can ask him for a particular song or he'll send you out the Excel spreadsheet that's got all the songs on it from all the different artists, and you can pick whatever tab you want to buy. All right, but I wanted to go through the ending of Big Spike Hammer because it's got some bluesy stuff in it. Normally you play Big Spike Hammer. Do you treat me this way? Hey, hey, tell me I'll get even someday. Big Spike Hammer, Big Spike Hammer. So when it goes to that E minor, what Ron does is he goes to the 3rd fret on the 3rd string and does a bend and that bluesy stuff. And then he does something similar to the J.D. Crowe idea I was showing you earlier. Like from Honey, You Don't Know My Mind. All right, so let me see if I can play it here and show you what he's doing. Why do you treat me this way? Hey, hey, tell me I'll get even someday. One more time. Hey, hey, tell me, why do you treat me this way? Hey, hey, tell me, I'll get even someday. Big Spike Hammer, Big Spike Hammer. So there it is, kind of slow, kind of hard to sing and vamp and be the band and the banjo player all at the same time. So he does a little hammer on, pull off, and you can do the 1st and 3rd string doubled up, and then walking up to the E minor. Big Spike Hammer. And he's bending on the 3rd string at the 3rd fret. Coming back to the E minor. And then he's going to the D lick. It's all on the 4th string. And kind of a standard ending. All right, I know I'm long-winded. I apologize for that, but I kind of want to do everything all in one video because that's about all I know right now. I'm going to keep learning. Hope you guys do too. Thanks.